Amazon, even Meta. Meta does not have a product.
So I'm trying to structure my thoughts. So I feel,
Of course, you need to have deep pocket.
Like majority of startups or companies,
AI is not going anywhere, that's for sure. We are
some jobs will be replaced altogether.
created to manage those AI processes of
and you have to be simple.
that gap.
Yeah.
Invention. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes.
Hi everyone, how are you?
Hello.
Hi guys.
Welcome to another episode of WeekendAI Pod. A lot has happened since the last time we have caught up. And let's start by Surur making a game
Yeah.
using AI.
So I was trying something
Surur,
unique with all these models. So I had an interesting problem to solve. So I thought, why not try GPT 4.0, right, to do it.
Okay.
But GPT 4.0 was not able to do it. It was not able to understand the prompt no matter how many times I explained it repeatedly. Then I tried GPT-4. It was able to understand the prompt, but it was not able to complete the whole exercise. It was stopping in between. I had to keep on regenerating, and it was getting stuck. Maybe it was a token issue, or maybe it was a context window issue or something like that. Then now that Anthropic has just launched Claude Sonnet, so I thought, why not just try it out, right? And to my surprise, Claude was able to do that exercise in just 2 prompts. And we do not have the paid version yet, so I was not able to complete it. But I did not have to explain again and again, and it was not stopping. It generated the whole code in one go. And they also launched a very interesting new feature which they call artifacts. I want to show something that I built through it.
So this debate of GPT 4.0 versus other models is now gaining a lot of traction. Once you show, then we'll have a discussion on that as well, because both of us, me and Anmol, have also used 4.0 and we are not that happy with it. So we will have that discussion. But yeah,
So the feature that Claude has launched is they have named it artifacts. What it does is, whatever code that you're generating, it may be an image, it may be some kind of an icon, or maybe HTML code, design, or maybe any kind of code, right? What it does, it also runs that code in a window next to your normal conversation window. It allows you to see everything in real time, visualize everything in real time, what's happening. So what I did was, because I come from a big gaming background, I have developed tens of hundreds of games like these, and I was able to generate a simple monkey jump game without in probably 10 minutes with 5-6 different prompts. And it was able to generate the character, it was able to generate the backgrounds, the tiles, the score, and everything. And it was able to write the logic for all of these, right? The collision logic, the physics logic, and everything. And any normal developer who is just getting started, or maybe with 1 year of experience, that it will take him at least a day to get all of this done. Keep aside designing these assets, right? And Claude was able to design. Claude was also able to implement it within 10 minutes, which was really mind-blowing for me to just see it happening in front of my eyes. So yeah, that's something that I was able to do.
and what about GPT 4? What was the delta between Claude and GPT 4? Was it not able to do anything, or how was your experience with it?
So GPT was not able to, GPT-4 was able to understand what I was trying to do, but it was not able to completely give me a solution. For example, one of the coding exercises that I gave was that I pasted privacy policy in text format, right? And I said that I want an HTML version of this privacy policy with such and such classes, right? CSS classes, so that I can get a whole document structured and just copy paste and get away with it. So GPT-4 was like doing it, but it was getting stuck in between. So the privacy policy was long, maybe like 2 pages or 3 pages long. So it was like only doing, initially it was only giving me a subset of it as an example, like this is how you can do it, now fill it on your own. But I said that no, I want you to give me the complete code, exact text in formatted HTML. Then it was going to, okay, I'm writing it, and it was able to do maybe like half a page, and it gets stuck and says like, do the rest of it again on your own. So that was the problem with GPT. It was not able to complete the whole exercise, wherein the same exercise I gave to Claude and was able to write like complete page. Because I was using a free trial, I was not able to complete the exercise, but I did not have to stop it. It almost completed 2 pages, and it was just going to complete the 3rd page as well, I guess, if I was using a paid version.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well,
GPT 4.0 seems like someone on notice period. Just doing the bare minimum to get away with it.
Yeah.
I think there are multiple performance. While I believe that it is like a race which has now started. Today it's Claude, tomorrow there will be some other LLM, and then GPT will catch up. And it's a very, very good thing for the human society in general, for the technical society, because now we have competition in LLMs to an extent where, literally, and this leisure gaming industry in itself is a big industry, right? Surur and me used to discuss, and games like this, if marketed properly, earn a lot of money, and there are multiple use cases, from psychometric assessments to pure gaming to time pass and all.
Yep.
So, I mean, while these tools can help us in, completely transforming the way companies can be run or formed in the future, it's very good to see healthy competition. Having said that, yes, I felt not just in processing a basic basic prompts, like prompt understanding was one of the issues, but I just found basic performance issues with the UI of ChatGPT. Like when I was using GPT for the screen froze, and at times I was not able to edit the prompt, or it took a very long latency rate. So I think I don't know, maybe we have the data on that. Maybe the subscriptions in GPT, like now, probably next month we will go for Claude. We will try it out in case it is performing well. Maybe it will affect it, but I think it's for the short run personally. Because once it comes with GPT-5, something improves, and I think that's how. I think the day is not far when we have multiple subscriptions, like OTTs of these platforms. Yeah.
I totally see it.
And more of that.
Yeah. Anyway, when we are working on it, but when it is fully implemented, then we'll already be using multiple LLMs for the product, right? And most of the people who are building AI products are obviously using multiple LLMs.
I think there
But
should be
for
LLM to manage multiple LLMs and optimize the performance. Let's say you are using AI.
There are startups who are doing that. So they have built a layer on top. It optimizes for cost and latency as well.
Yes.
For both the things.
And performance as well. So different LLMs would have different capabilities.
Yes.
So and besides where to get the data from or get the job done from.
So yeah, good advancements on the LLM side for sure.
Let's see what GPT-5 has in store, right? So because maybe they are reducing the bar so that the wow factor is increased when they launch GPT-5.
Put over here when O was launched, like they're all learning GPT-4.0, and this thing was like a lot of people said it's omni-channel, it's like it can understand. So maybe the innovation there was not in terms of performance, but in terms of the inputs and the multi-model approach which GPT had launched. So maybe because of that, they did not focus. Otherwise, they would have just named it GPT-5. So maybe that's one thing. But how can they perform from GPT-4?
Yeah, no. So clearly, in Omni, there have been trade-offs, right, with respect to performance and capability. So that is very evident. And like in menial tasks also, not just in complex tasks. In menial everyday tasks also, like we can see that. Like I now use GPT-4 instead of 4.0 because it gives me better results than. So
So I think one thing is happening with us that the last 6 months or 1 year has been so much, what such a high slope in terms of innovation that our expectation is also rising too dramatically. Like, yeah, we just, it's like becoming a core expectation that why is it not doing it? Why is not doing a complicate? Like I was out somewhere and I had to compare something and I had put in such a big prompt and it did it. And I was still like, why is it taking so much? How, like we have, I think the expectation of us, of technology enthusiasts is also rising rapidly. And so maybe maybe that's also one of the reasons we are not satisfied with the current LLMs. But I'm sure that they will come in the future. And as the problem of compute also, you know, becomes easy to solve as we go on. I think we discussed in the last podcast also that compute will get solved in case there is a demand. So once it gets solved, all these issues will get sorted over a period of time. It's like cars. Like every new car, we expect so many features.
Yes.
And it will, keep on improving.
Just double clicking on that, there's an article in Sequoia which is exactly talking about like what would be the next 2-3 years in this AI age, and it specifically talks about that the next 1 to 2 or 3 years will be dedicated to building data centers with all these GPUs and everything. And there will be innovation in electricity, like through maybe solar power plants, maybe through nuclear fusion energy or something like that. So yeah, but that's where the industry is going forward. That's where the like large bulk investment is going from, like big VCs and like existing players like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, even Meta. Meta does not have a product, AI product like OpenAI at the moment, but yes, they are like using Llama and like building it into their existing product like WhatsApp. We see that Llama is now integrated into WhatsApp. You can just talk to the AI on your WhatsApp. So that's where the bulk of investment is going at the moment. That's what the article talks about, I guess.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Like, is AI and AI a bubble, or like, of course they are setting data centers, and we'll definitely see innovation in electricity, like in energy generation, basically. But talking about the AI market, the companies coming up or the startups coming up with AI products or AI first products, what are your opinions on these sort of companies and startups?
Sunu, you want to take that? Because I have opinion.
I do have an opinion, and I was listening to the All In podcast the other day, and they were like very specifically talking about this AI bubble, right? And I concurred with a few thoughts that were shared on the podcast. One was that there's a lot of investment that is being made into a lot of startups these days, right? Some are doing model development, right? Which actually requires you to have a quota of GPUs with you. Otherwise, you'll not be able to train, experiment, and build models, right? And a plethora of startups are being built as AI API consumers. Like they are using APIs of OpenAI, maybe Claude, and other models. So I think that the major chunk of investment that is being made into startups which are acting or as a consumer of these AI models will fail, right? They will not be able to recover the investments. But similarly, on the same side, the lot of investment that is being made on the modern side, the advancement of GPUs, the advancement of data centers, the advancement and innovation in the energy sector, which is required, that's where the revolution on the AI age will happen. That's where the ROI will come for the industry. And maybe after that, once the cost is lower for building AI applications, then the ROI will be there for the next generation of applications. So maybe the timing right now is for experimentation, but not success. But the successful apps will be built maybe 5 years down the line, and successful products and companies.
Got it.
What about you, Nikhil?
Yeah. So I'm trying to structure my thoughts. So I feel AI is the single biggest innovation of
This, like, it is one of the biggest innovations that have happened in terms of mankind, human race. It's like electricity. Like we were just talking about energy. It's like before electricity also the world was alive, and then after electricity, a lot of things enabled. I think AI will become ingrained in daily life. Like for example, today I recorded a voice note and then I opened my phone. It is AI powered. I got 4 AI notifications. Do you want to transcribe? Do you want to summarize? Do you want to do that? And I just passed on. I was like, I like 2 years ago, if someone would, I would have loved it. Similarly, we are hearing about smart appliances. Similarly, I think AI will become ingrained in daily life. We will not be able to live without AI. Like it's like 5G or 4. It's like internet. Like it's just there. It's like electricity. Now we take it for granted, right? So, like if I draw parallels when oil was discovered, when electricity was discovered, oil companies just focusing on use cases or features, they will not survive because the bigger providers, like my phone will provide me AI feature. Like it will give me, every app will now give me AI. My phone will give, my fridge will give, my laptop will give. These co-pilots will come. But the companies who are in the line function of the process, for example, compute, for example, infrastructure, for example, the heavy lifting, right? Like if we talk about petroleum, the company which drills the oil, or the company which refines it, or the company which supplies it, that those there will be giants there. There will be giants like Nvidia, there will be giants on compute level, there will be giants there. And then there will be democratized market where it will become like a democratized market where you can come and sell your product. And if it is good, a bigger player or who already has distribution will either acquire you, buy you, or make their own, right? So that's what I feel, that I have no doubt in the technology, but who will win, who will lose, how the industry is going to play out, it will become something like telecom, like when telecom came, telephone came, right? So like it is like that, for me that, and now of course there are the winners and losers, but now there are like maybe 10 telecom providers global. And every new technology, every new spectrum will auction and they will make, and there were small players like Docomo and all which came, but which got acquired, Vodafone idea. So I think that will happen, and AI is not going anywhere, that's for sure. We are, like if today you take AI out of our life, we will feel it in the world and it will just get better and better. But is it a space where I would like to start a company? If I have very big pockets, if I have, distribution, yes, I will win it. But if not, then I don't think a point solution will do very well, because it will then become a feature and someone else will, there will be no moat. So that's what my personal feeling is.
Another interesting parallel that the guys at the All In podcast also drew, right? Just what Nikhil mentioned, that telecom sector was also considered as the same thing like AI is considered now, because there was a lot of investment being made in telecom at that point of time in 2000. And when the dot-com bubble came in and everyone was like, all of your investments are now like zero, because everyone was like going after internet, like building their 4G capabilities, building their 5G capabilities, all of that, laying out the fibers and networks and everything. And when the dot-com bubble was crashed, people were like, the investments will go to zero and people will get bankrupt, the companies will go bankrupt. But that did not happen. It eventually rolled out and eventually the market picked up and everything was back to where it should be. So I think that cycle will come in the AI race as well, but it will eventually pick up and be a part of the daily lives, as Nikhil was saying.
Before you continue on that, I'll just add a small point. And this is from a personal anecdote. I did not see the podcast this time, All In, but while I was working in Nomura, I used to be part of the telecom sector. And there was a joke, and Vodafone was our client in the EMEA market. There will never be another Vodafone. This was taught to us, and therefore we wanted that line because that line will never die. Like no matter what happens, Vodafone is not voting. They might rebrand and all. It is because we were working 5G. This is 2016. 5G was like, it was not even 3G was there in the market. They were thinking 5 years, 10 years in the future about 5G. There was a small company called Visma in Norway, which innovated the technology of towers, making 5G towers. Vodafone bought them off for a hell lot of money. So that's that's again a parallel, because big players, like think of oil or think of electricity. They are so big players sitting that even if there is a person wanting to disrupt or innovating, they will buy you out for shitload of money, and then the technology will become theirs by default. Like for example, Reliance in India or something like that. So therefore, we used to joke that in telecom, there will never be another Vodafone. Like in the next 100 years, it's very difficult for a, like now Starlink is there, but Starlink is now space tech and all. But then you need an Elon Musk to compete. So that's probably what, like, I also could understand without seeing the part that
Yes.
like it's as big as telecom or electricity for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for that you have to see the gap, right?
Yes.
Starlink is solving a gap which Vodafone isn't.
Yes.
That you can have internet
And you
anywhere,
have to be
anytime.
filthy rich to solve that gap. Yeah.
Yeah, of course you need to have deep pockets, but that
Yeah.
I'm for now taking for granted that there's enough money in the world. If you want to solve a big enough problem, then you can
Yes.
attract money for that. But like I don't know, from a VC perspective, maybe there's less money to be made, or less number of people will make money, or VCs will make money. But I think from a founder's perspective, there's a lot of money on the table right now, because this is the time when the world is adapting to AI. Of course, 2023 was the year when everything was wow, wow, wow.
Yes.
Every next development was wow. But I think in 2024, that wow factor has gone down like by multitudes. Now we are not like, now for us, it's now like, it's okay. Okay, you can move the image in real time. Oh, that's great. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
So now the world is getting used to it and people are adopting AI. So I think from a founder's perspective, it's more about distribution, because building is already commoditized. So in the last decade, we've seen that you get an insight, you start building, you get to a certain stage, and then that idea gets commoditized. But in 2024, we are seeing that everything is already commoditized. Whatever you think, somebody is already building on it, or there are copycats who are ready to like copy your product. You just do marketing and your product will get copied in like matter of days, if not hours, because building is so fast and cheap now. So the whole game boils down to your distribution, and the one who has distribution or can crack distribution for whatever niche or segment, market, geography, they will probably win or make money. But yeah, as Surur said, the real products will come 5 years down the line, who are leveraging AI to solve a like problem in the society.
Or maybe to rephrase it, startups and companies who are able to be alive for that much duration, like 5 years down the line, they will be able to convert themselves to be a big company. Like majority of startups or companies that are building AI as a product will eventually, I think, will fail in some manner, maybe due to lack of funds, maybe due to being a commodity product or something like that. But
Like maybe failure is a strong word. I would say that they'll not be able to like scale up.
yeah,
They'll
Yeah.
get restricted because everything is commoditized. They will get restricted. In that, my opinion is maybe companies will just pivot, because once you are in the game, in whatever sector, in whatever domain you are working, and like if you are alive for a long period of time, then you also gain insights. Insights is a compounding game. Then you probably see those problems that you can solve for the society. And in that, I think AI is secondary. It's like how the problem will get solved. That's the main thing to consider. If we think about how AI will solve this problem, probably that's a wrong line of thought.
Now, just to add to what you said, I think everything in the world will get faster, like,
Yes.
to put it
Yeah.
out. Any process. Because AI and I said, like, then you have to be part of the hiring function. Then you are making your own model, you are researching CPUs and GPUs and whatnot, the hardware part of it. Otherwise, it's just use case of then, right? So, how do you use it to make any process in the world faster, cheaper, better?
And it will continue. Like we have 4G, 5, 6G, 7G, 10G. It is just getting faster, better, cheaper, faster, getting cheaper. Similarly, all companies out there which are leveraging AI will now try to make, and it then comes to, so there will be two people who are not leveraging AI. They will have to force to be adopting to AI, and second will be companies who are using AI to make it more better with evolving models. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure. Like maybe in a matter of decades, it will get cheaper, but that is based on the assumption that we are able to crack the
I mean,
energy
it's
innovation.
faster, better, or like everything will keep on improving. Like whatever the metrics of improvements are, can be faster, it can be better, or it can be cheaper. In
So
case it is
right
cheaper,
now,
yeah.
see, right now we have struggled, right? We tried the AI collar thing, but in India, the labor is so cheap that when it comes down to cost, we always think that a person is better because one, right now humans are better at at handling the calls, but another is that like in at least in India, it's just cheaper to have a resource who can also do a couple of other things along with the calling, and AI is really expensive as compared to that right now.
Yeah, I mean, over a period of time, like next, like even if you look at telecom rates, like they were so expensive 15 years ago. Now, with everyone for free. So, like it will come us. Yeah, I mean, there will come a point when it is either very fast, very very better, or very very cheap. Yeah, something like that,
No,
or
no,
together.
that I am a strong, like I just stated that I'm a strong believer. Anything which is a hindrance to like human society as a whole will get like we will break the barrier. We will innovate. Like the word, yeah. Invention is the mother of. Oh, sorry.
It's necessity is the
Yeah, invention necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. What are you showing, Siru?
And this is the article that I was talking about on Sequoia by a guy named David Can. And at the end, it says the same thing that we are discussing on the podcast and being repeated by all three of us is that at the very least, trading and insurance costs should continue their decline upon to startups. So according to him, the year 2025 would be the year of data centers. That's what he said, year of the data center. So, and a lot of investments being made. Amazon has made $50 billion investment, right? Microsoft has already made some investment in different countries. Google has already like started investing in their TPU clusters, and Meta has already like doing a lot of stuff on the data center side silently. So yeah, of all things, one thing that we are very sure is that the costs would come down. That would play a huge part in all these companies which are striving to build and automate these processes, being able to be cost and net positive at unit level. That's where, like as Anmol said, in India, a person salary is not uh, that much for someone to consider an AI system to replace them. So, but and maybe like 5 years down the line, that will not be the scenario, and people will be open
And
to.
just to add over here, continue developing country, per capita income is also rising.
Yeah.
So why even India will become expensive? So yeah, so over a period of time, yeah.
Yeah, but then what are your thoughts about jobs then?
I
5 years down the line. Let's also talk about that.
Like we were saying that and process out there, we get it. Right? So the person managing the process either will have to upskill themselves to get better at it. For example, let's talk about recruitment, and I think we will do more on these podcasts. Next time to take a process like we have friends who want to discuss marketing, we want to do recruitment, like process at a time, right? So let's say someone wants to do an SEO or a content writing, right? Now the process is still the same. Content writing was done before internet also, or newspapers. There were libraries where we used to go and research and all. the way of marketing was different. Then internet came, then SEO came. Now AI is there. So the persons who were leveraging it had to upskill themselves. So upskilling is not going anywhere. Second, it also depends on the company which is providing that outcome, like the service providers, the outcome of. Now, in case mathematically it makes sense for me to replace the person completely, why not? Like, look at us. Like, if we have an option of doing everything with AI and along with the same reliability, we will not think twice of doing so. So, yes, of course, there will be, but then we also understand that there will be new processes, there will be new, jobs created to manage those AI processes or something like that. Then that we need people for that. So, of course, it is not that humans will completely become redundant and party on beaches. And if that happens, it's a good thing for humanity. We will spend times on more critical problems. Maybe the kind of problems we spend time on changes. But either the person will have to upskill, or second, it's not, it is, they might be replaced. So I am of both the views that yes, it might happen. And then new kinds of jobs will emerge. New kinds of jobs will emerge.
I think the job description would change on like many of the jobs. Some jobs will be replaced altogether. I think activities like content writing, content rephrasing, all of these jobs would at some point of time be completely done by AI. There will be no person doing it. And it will reach at that stage where nobody has to oversee it as well, because the
I
confidence
mean,
increases.
just to add to what you are saying, people who are mediocre on type job, because there will be two places for mediocre content.
Yes.
So it means you are so good that you are able to oversee what AI is writing and add some value out of it, maybe emotions and all. If at all AI is not at this, if you are mediocre, then anyway,
But you
like,
can
there
also,
will pro.
again, but you can also see content writing in two different parts. One is a normal content writing that you do for SEO, like publishing content online just for the sake of getting views and getting in the
Cognitive
top 10 of the search. Then there is content writing, which requires a lot of industry experience, expertise, and everything, right?
copyright.
Which is like editorials you see in newspapers, right? Political views. Those type of writing, of course, AI won't be able to do, even going forward in like many years down the line, because that really requires personal experiences. Until and unless somebody sits and trains or maybe gives that information to an AI system to write using that information, then of course that's possible, right? So, but as I said, the job description will change for many jobs, right? Many of the jobs will have, like even the standard jobs will have something like that the candidate needs to have some level of AI experience, maybe using platforms like GPT, maybe platform like OpenAI, Cloud, all of these things. Maybe for programmers, there will be something like that you should be accustomed to using copilots for writing code, um, organizing, writing clean code, getting it checked, tested by AI. So I guess that would be a paradigm shift that will happen. And the top description will start having a line which will specifically talk about experience with AI.
Oh, that's definitely happening. Every GD will have something related to experience with AI. Yeah. Um,
And I saw an article researching. Yeah, a company, I forgot the name. It's a very famous US startup. They have started actually employing an AI employee. So they have officially onboarded them, like literally as an employee. They are like treating them as a person in their Slack group with their birthday and a name, or the person an employee. So that's also happening. But I feel that when we look at the spectrum of time, every technology there's a large adoption. So it's not a couple of months we are talking about. It will take maybe 5 years, 4 years, maybe 10 years, 20 years. And even today, a lot of sectors are not AI or even digitally empowered, right? So when we see the first things, then we will be able to make a better guess of what is going to happen and how are the people coping up with it. And then new jobs will arise. If the standard of living of people will rise, they will solve newer problems. They will solve, let's say we were discussing about like people with chefs who know how to make keto diets, right? Something like that, where people So there will be new set of skill sets will be required. And those type of, maybe the jobs won't change. Maybe that's what will happen. Like, who thought a Node.js developer will be such a high-paying job 50 years before today, right? So we have for the next 10, 20, 50 years timeline of how the evolution will happen. Because we are also thinking that a lot of companies right now, or a lot of people in the world in general right now are not aware of it. So I think it will come in phases, top down, and then it will slowly adopt. And there will be challenges, there will be threats. But sooner or later, yeah, it will happen. Like commerce took over the roads. So it will happen. So of course the need for horse riders or bullock cart riders went away, but I'm sure that they upskilled themselves to drive cars. So yeah, that's something, I think, that hopeful note. And that's the hope. Okay, that's the hope. Yeah.
Otherwise, I can just see riots.
So just a lighter note with the prediction. I saw an article on eight shorts. He also predicted Donald Trump's bullets or something like that, which recently happened. Um, uh, this guy is a blind guy. I forgot the name. Some guy, and he predicts a very old, wisdomful person. And he has predicted major world events. So and he has predicted in a few hundred years that maybe the world will be taken over by technology and human civilization will find will figure out a space in Mars to live on, and Earth will be and there will be no need for human. So this was I was reading, like in like 200-300 years from now on. But we won't be alive, but even if we are, will that day. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, 5 years down the line, we are also tracking climate change, right? So let's see how that goes down.
There are
Because if 2025 is the year of data centers, then 3 years down the line,
I think nuclear fusion or some very strong innovation in the energy sector is going to happen. That will impact both the things, like sustainability as a sector as well,
right.
and also
Because
like AI as
otherwise,
a
I
sector.
don't think it's going to take 200-300 years.
So I think anything else you guys want to add, or we can.
So I think for the next part, we can maybe discuss function-wise uses of
Yes.
AI with marketing, recruitment, sales, etc. that we have explored. And probably we can take up some new startups that are like helping customers doing those normal functions, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea to be any process at AI native. And towards the end, maybe we can share that recording, and all of our viewers can share that recording with the people who they know in that sector. And we can start by one sector and one sector by one sector every week. Even if it's a bigger sector, we can divide it into a couple of podcasts. And then let's try to make, and based on how we can make the entire process an AI native process. So I think it's helpful. And then, of course, with each process and each thing, we can also try startups who are already doing it.
And any of the viewers, if you have any processes or any problems that you think that AI can solve, but you're not able to do it, feel free to share with us. We'll try and see
It's a
if
good
there's a
note.
solution available for that problem.
We'll see
Otherwise,
you
we'll try
again.
to solve it for you.
Please do like, share, and subscribe on our content, and give us suggestion or in case you want us to make anything specific. And till the next time, see you. Bye.